Hello, hello, welcome back to the island. My name is Donald, aka the Scruffy Looking Gamer, and Blue White Aggro finally got some love in Wicked Prophecy. Let's take a look. Alright, before we talk about all the love Blue White Aggro has been getting, let's look at one of our other spoilers that we got. This is Coco, Determined Fiend, and Coco is a 1 white soul cost for a 6/2, and you can engage her to add white to your soul pile. This is pretty familiar. We also have Eligor, that is the exact same thing, but for black from Genesis. So now we have the white version and the black version. So if you're playing Ascendants, I assume you're playing both of these. Ascendants looks like it is now the ramp deck. If it wasn't already, it definitely is now. We also got the new Eligor that when it enters, you can place a card from your hand in your soul row. That's another form of ramp. This potentially means you could, by turn 3, drop Dukraka if you had the perfect hand. That's scary. That's really, really scary. If you see this come down on your opponent's board on turn 3, I mean, what are you doing? Like, you're pretty much done at that point. Unless you're holding some Infinity Blades or Mortal Blows, you're going to be in a bad position moving forward in that game. Luckily, they're not going to have you on short time 2 by that point, because they were probably using their Cocos and Eligors to ramp and not to attack. So you're not going to be at a full -5/-5 yet, but it's definitely going to hurt. It's going to be rough, especially against like an aggro deck. That -3/-3 is enough to completely destroy them. So I don't know. Seeing this as basically copies 4, 5, and 6 of Eligor is pretty scary for what that deck's going to do. Moving on though. So we have a spell that is in white and blue. It says enter the island effects of human citizens trigger twice until the end of turn. And if you attack with 5 or more human citizens this turn, you may abolish any number of human citizens you control and then return them to the island under your control at the end of the turn. So that is our first flicker effect that we have in Kryptik. Flicker is a pretty prominent thing that in Magic, playstyle in Magic, that people enjoy. And I think it works pretty well here. Ignoring the enter the island effects of humans trigger twice. We're going to ignore that for now. Just the fact that you attack with 5 or more human citizens, that's a lot. First of all, I mean, attacking with 5 in one turn is a lot. So getting to that is kind of sketchy, I think. But then after that, they all leave the island, and then they return to the island. Again, at the end of your turn, they'll be disengaged. They are new versions of themselves. So if your opponent had Farrakha, one of your cards put Farrakha on your Orpheus, or they had put clapped in irons on one of your citizens, so it wasn't disengaging. That doesn't matter. They'll leave the island. They'll come back. There'll be new versions. So all of that is gone. And then they're all up to defend if you need to defend with them. But then the second part of that, so enter the island effects of human citizens trigger twice. So if you were doing that to Theodore and Sven, then they're going to enter the island again. They're going to get their enter the island effects. So you're going to draw cards, you're going to probe. But not only that, but it triggers twice. So Theodore re-entering the island will be 2 draw triggers. That's really good. But can you attack with 5 citizens and all of them or enough of them live to be able to get that effect? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think this card is semi-playable just for the first clause, though. Enter the island affects a human's trigger twice. You're obviously not playing this on turn 2, but on a turn 4 or turn 5, when you can play this and drop an Orpheus and engage 2 citizens off 2 Orpheus triggers, that could be game winning. That is a possibility. Maybe you need to draw with Theodore. I guess you're out of cards late game and you just need to draw. I think that this is a possibility. There were some cards in blue-white aggro that were just kind of there already in Genesis. We didn't really have enough to fill it out. So I think this does get a home in that deck. I don't know if it gets a full 3. It probably replaces something like Ferocious Ranks or Feathergraft if someone is playing those cards, because those aren't real great anyway. But I don't know. I'm not sold on the if you attacked with 5 or more humans. We'll have to see if that is a thing that can happen. I mean, it can. I've seen it happen. I've been on the other end of it happening. But that's a lot to ask for to get that second effect. Next we have Timmy. He is a Druac citizen. He's 1 white soul for a 3/3 with sidestep. And when attached to a citizen, it gains sidestep. So I want to talk about this card in 2 different lights. One, as a Druac, and we finally have a decent attach payoff. Most of the cards we've seen, when you attach, you get to draw a card, or detach, draw, or something happens. But nothing we've seen so far it encourages you to attach X citizen. So this does. You can give any citizen on the board sidestep. That's pretty good. There's a lot of cards that don't have sidestep for a reason, because the sidestep would just push them over the top. Well, now you can give them sidestep. That is, I think, one of the best Druac payoffs we've seen so far, and I'm sure there are plenty more to come, but this one really helps push that deck into what they're trying to do, I believe. Looking at this from a different perspective, though, in blue-white aggro, this is a 1-drop, almost unblockable. Sidestep is semi-unblockable in most cases, especially on turn 1. Now, it doesn't have eager, so it's not attacking on turn 1, but when you untap on turn 2 and you're attacking with sidestep, I seriously doubt your opponent has anything that's going to also have sidestep to block this. So I think this is a good replacement for Einar. Einar's pretty slow in that deck, being at 2. Then you got to wait till turn 3 to be able to attack. This is a turn quicker and a similar effect to unblockable. I mean, I know it's not unblockable, but sidestep in a lot of cases is semi-unblockable. So I think that this card really will see a lot of play, and I think it'll be in the blue-white deck. I think it'll definitely see play in the Druac deck. And it even has a home in like a blue or in a black-white-ish aggro deck. Something like that. I think this card's great. It's a common, which is pretty cool, and it's going to see a lot of play. If you're drafting this, for sure, this is a snap pick in draft, because you can't guarantee that you're going to be drafting a lot of sidestep anyway. So this card is going to be a pretty big powerhouse on turn 1 for several turns probably. Next, we have I'm going to go with Manute. Manute is a human citizen. 2 and a white for a 9/7. When he enters the island, if you have destroyed an 11-year card by combat this turn, you return up to 2 target citizens with a combined total soul cost of 4 or less to their owner's hands. And then on short time 4, you can sacrifice the citizen to counter target spell. That's right. This is a white, pure white card that says counter target spell. Strange, I know, but this card does a lot. So on 3, you attack in, destroy an 11-year card, play this, and you're bouncing 2 citizens with up to 4 total soul cost. This is kind of almost better than. I mean, I think this is better than Davy. I hate to say that. I really hate to say that. I love Davy, but in certain situations, this is bouncing more than Davy is bouncing. It's potentially two citizens where Davy can only hit one, and it could bounce only one citizen that is four or less instead of whereas Davy is confined to it has to be two or less. Um, this is a pretty powerful effect. Not even mentioning the fact that when short time 4, which is so easy to get, sacrifice to counter target spell. I mean, this is if this does not see play in the main board of blue white aggro, this is a sideboard all star for sure. You're bringing this in against control. You are bouncing their stuff back to hand because you're probably getting through for some damage, and then you are countering whatever spell they want to play in a later turn. This card does so much. Like it's crazy. I can't believe it's mono white. Like at the very least, I would think this would be blue white. But and not only that, but just one white pip, like two anything and one white. Whereas like say Estrid is three blue to be able to bounce one thing back to their hand, and that's it. So I mean, it does have the condition that you have to destroy an 11-year card. So it's not like just a straight up better card. It's kind of a side grade, I guess, in a way. It depends on what deck. This just doesn't just slot into any deck. You have to be attacking. But this card does work for sure. I'm not crazy about the art. I don't know why he's got a backwards scythe on his ankle that he has to kick straight up in the air to. I don't know. And what that has to do with returning cards to their hands and countering spells. He doesn't look like the kind of guy that cares about countering your spells, but whatever. We'll take it. All right, if you made it this far, let me know what you think about these spoilers down in the comments. Did this just push blue-white aggro into an even better position than they already were? This is kind of the first little bit of love we've really seen for blue-white aggro in this set. So it's interesting that we got it all kind of at once. So what do you think? How does this change that deck and what they're trying to do? Also, I want to remind you to make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll be doing a giveaway at 100 subs. We're getting really close to there. We'll be giving away this Fion Kickstarter box topper right there. Will be one of the things giveaway. We'll be giving away packs of Wicked Prophecy, opening them on the stream. So make sure that you are hitting subscribe if you have not already, and reach out to your friends and tell them to subscribe too, even if just to get free stuff for you. So until next time, we'll see you on the island.